I am Prabhuddha Biswas. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will be speaking about the making of the second oldest cantonment of the Indian subcontinent in Allahabad. The garrison town of Allahabad and its cantonment was established in the year 1765. On 5th of August 1765, Robert Clive, the then governor of Bengal, while stationed at Benares, issued an order forming the whole force into three separate brigades of similar strength and composition. After that, Robert Clive proceeded to Allahabad from Benares and signed the historic Treaty of Allahabad on August 12 and August 16, 1765 respectively, and earned the Diwani rights of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha conferred by Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. But unfortunately, it has been claimed that Allahabad cantonment was founded in 1857, which is not true. The celebrated writer Neeraj C. Chaudhary wrote in his book Clive of India, before Clive began to give his attention to all this, he had carried out in an altered form the plan of reorganization of the army in Bengal, a plan that he had previously put forward in London. It was made up of three brigades and as actually organized. The brigade consisted of one company of artillery, one troop of European cavalry, and one regiment of native cavalry, one regiment of European infantry, and 7 battalions of sepoys. Clive particularly wanted that the officers to be familiar with the language of the different sepoy corps, without which, as he put it is impossible to bring the sepoys to that pitch of discipline which will make them truly formidable. It is significant that brigades were all stationed outside Bengal. The first brigade was stationed at Munger in eastern Bihar. The third brigade at Patna, the capital of Bihar and in the extreme west of the province, and the second brigade at Allahabad, which was altogether beyond the limits of the territories under the company, but where it was stationed as protection to Shah Alam II. In Bengal, that is Murshidabad and Calcutta, there were only small detachments from the first brigade. Furthermore, there was slow transformation of the garrison town of Allahabad in 1765. Allahabad became the capital of Mughal province in the 1570s, and to guard the river crossings at the confluence of Ganga and Jamuna, Akbar built last of his magnificent fortress palaces. The Allahabad fort and the city came into British hands in 1764, when the East India Company's army defeated the combined forces of the Mughal Emperor and the Nawabs of Awadh and Bengal in the Battle of Buxar on 23rd of October 1764. Allahabad remained British until 1947, sometimes no more than a district or divisional headquarters in 1803, briefly capital of a province in 1833 of a new presidency, but finally, from the 1858 onwards, capital of the United Provinces until independence, when Lucknow became the capital of the new state of Uttar Pradesh. The city in the early 19th century was small, half ruined by warfare, and overshadowed as a port town of Mirzapur, the center for cotton, and by Patna, that for opium. But the great fort retained its strategic importance. Its landward defences were strengthened with European ravelins and bastions. The elegant palace buildings were turned into barracks, and the nearby Jama Masjid fitted up, first as a residence of the general, then used as an assembly room for social gatherings. Allahabad, the only major UP city with links to Bombay and Nagpur, as well as Delhi and Calcutta, became a garrison town and gunpowder factory and chief arsenal for the Middle Ganga. That is how the town of Allahabad was transformed into garrison town with cantonment based at Allahabad fort, but later the cantonment was relocated outside the fort on the bank of Ganges. After the reorganization of the East India Company forces, the then Bengal Army by the Robert Clive, dated August 5, 1765, the three newly formed brigades were stationed at following places. First, the 1st Brigade was stationed at Munger Fort, the 2nd Brigade was stationed at Allahabad Fort, and the 3rd Brigade was stationed at Bankipur Cantonment on the western outskirts of the Patna city. In the meantime, the Munger Cantonment got fully disturbed due to the mutiny by European officers on the issue of double batta during May 13 and 14, 1766, and as a consequence, the Munger Cantonment was reduced to the rank of small military station, and the 1st Brigade was later shifted to Baharampur Barrack near Murshidabad, which rose to the rank of cantonment of the 1st Brigade. Presently, Baharampur town is the headquarters of the Murshidabad district in West Bengal. Later, the Baharampur cantonment was reduced to the rank in 1870 and later withdrawn in 1906. Though Bankipur cantonment was partly affected by the mutiny on the issue of double batta, but the majority European officers tendered their submission before Robert Clive on May 20, 1766, and were pardoned. After the victory in the Battle of Buxar, the English army had entered in the Awadh region and was stationed in Allahabad for the security of the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. But there was rising tension with the entry of the Maratha army hailing from the present-day Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Bundelkhand. Seeing the advance of a large body of Maratha army towards the province of Kara and Allahabad, the greater part of the 2nd Brigade moved forward and took advanced position at Surajpur during January 1766. But by November 1766, the 2nd Brigade was directed to take up defensive position and was stationed at Sasaram and Daud Nagar of the present-day Rohtas district of Bihar. By December 1766, the 3rd Brigade at Bankipur was asked to move to Allahabad to reinforce the Allahabad cantonment, and the 2nd Brigade from Sasaram and Daud Nagar was brought to Bankipur cantonment at Patna for its defense. In March 1767, the cantonment at Bankipur was almost entirely consumed by fire. It was decided to rebuild them with brick in order to prevent future incidents of that nature. The incident of the Great Fire further proved that the burned barracks at Bankipur were made of temporary and perishable items like straw and bamboo. Within 2 months of the Bankipur fire, there was report of another devastating fire that engulfed the entire city of Patna. That was on May 1767, which almost destroyed it. The board at Fort William, Calcutta was convinced to erect all their public buildings entirely of brick and their cantonments and with brick pitched roofs. The board also decided to build new cantonments at Dinapur and Munger covered in with brick pitched roofs, for which purpose the Patna Council was to send an estimate of the additional expense. The Great Fire of 1767 had acted as the immediate cause for the simultaneous relocation of the Bankipur military cantonment to Dinapur. In the meantime, the 3rd Brigade stationed at Allahabad cantonment was recalled from Allahabad in 1767 and 68 and was stationed in the new barracks of Dinapur, whereas the 2nd Brigade returned from Bankipur to Allahabad cantonment. In the light of above developments, the importance of the Allahabad cantonment grew, which gradually transformed into garrison town of Allahabad, making it the 2nd oldest cantonment of the Indian subcontinent in Allahabad after the Danapur cantonment. Thank you.